Hey folks, how are you doing? It's Monday night. It's October 24th. Good to see everybody. Welcome to Where's Walter Cruise Chat Q&A, where we'll talk about cruise news and we will do our best to answer your questions. If you're new to the channel, Where's Walter TV is all about cruising and travel, and in particular, we like to try to give advice to the first-time cruiser, the newbie cruiser. Maybe you're cruise curious, you've never taken one. So if you've got any questions at all, certainly drop them into the questions there. It's been a long day for us. We appreciate you coming out, and we appreciate all the well wishes. If you're just tuning in, we did have to say goodbye to our dear Molly the Wonder Dog this morning. And we thought about maybe not doing the show, but I just figured that I needed a distraction, and I really wanted to talk to you guys tonight. So good to see everybody out there. I hope you're having a fantastic evening. It's still 77 degrees here in Orlando, so it's still kind of warm. So, but I hope everybody's doing well out there. We've got all kinds of things to talk about. Certainly, we now have Where's Walter Travel. So if you have any need of travel in the future, certainly let us know. We're concentrating primarily on cruising, but we can pretty much book you anywhere. We also obviously know the theme parks and everything like that. Thank you, Tristan. Appreciate that. Oh, good. I'm glad you're hanging out outside right now. So that is awesome. Love it. And but if you need anything in the future with your cruises and travel, and certainly if you have not joined the Facebook group yet, please come on over and join the Facebook group. We've got links in the description down below. Closing in on 250 people, so it's a nice small group. It's a nice little group of folks who are helping each other out and sharing some really awesome photos. We've got somebody who's over in, I think, Italy right now, or Greece. We've got some folks who are on the Oasis of the Sea, so it's really nice. That's what I love about the Facebook group, that I get to see your cruises. I get to see what you're doing, so please make sure you come on over. And, of course, check out the merch store for, things from Sail Pack and also our tees and more. You'll see the affiliate links down below. And, in fact, shirts like this, Where We're Going, We Don't Need Roads. I love this, one of the new ones. Love this shirt so much. So make sure you come on over, check out the merch store and all of that. And, in fact, I just loaded my first Christmas design. Really fun Christmas design. The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud as we leave the pier. I thought that was pretty good, huh? I'm a big Elf fan. Yes, I'm a big Elf fan. So I thought that was kind of a fun little play on Elf. So again, welcome. This is Where's Walter Travel, where we talk about all things cruising and travel. We are independent travel advisors as well. So when your plans call for travel and vacations in the future, certainly think of us at whereswaltertravel.com. Links in the description below. And speaking of that, holiday cruises are still available from all the big guys. From Thanksgiving to New Year's, still lots of inventory left. So if you want to get away for the holidays, I mean, I've told you guys, we've gone on 5 or 6 Thanksgiving cruises now, and we love Thanksgiving cruises because there's no drama. We got somebody else cooking for us. and all of that good stuff. So if you want to get away on a holiday cruise, there are still plenty of cruises out there from pretty much everybody you can think of. And in fact, Disney's even running some 35% off sales on their very maritime cruises, which is insane, but they are. So if you want to get out on a Disney maritime cruise, there's even 35% off on select sailings on that as well. So yeah, so certainly let us know if you want to get out on some of those cruises. What is happening in the news today? Well, one of the neat things, Carnival Luminosa has retained some of her Italian styling. Now, if you don't know the story behind the Luminosa, that was the Costa Luminosa, which is a Carnival brand, and they rebranded the entire ship the Carnival Luminosa. That means that she got the Carnival livery. She kept her original funnel, but they've repainted it in the Carnival livery, and she has Carnival crew on board now, but she's retained some of her Italian stylings along the way. So that was pretty cool. Let's see. Tristan is saying RCL is already sold out. I thought it went on sale tomorrow. So it went on sale today or yesterday to travel agents and to Diamond? Crown and Anchor. So anybody who was in the Crown and Anchor and for the travel agent, it went on sale either today or yesterday. I think it was today. It might have been yesterday. It was today. It went on sale today, and then tomorrow it opens up to the general public. So there are a lot of a lot of the Icon is sold out. That is an extremely popular ship. It is priced pretty well higher than the Oasis class, which you would expect. I mean, anytime a new ship comes out, it's going to be higher than the previous ships anyway. But now this is a brand new class, and this ship is unapologetically family. I mean, this is a family ship. They are not apologizing for that at all. And in fact, something like 83% of all the cabins can hold 3 or more people. This is designed as a family ship. I've seen some people out there complaining about, oh, there's not enough adult stuff. It's too much kids, too much this. Well, that's what it was designed to do. It is a family-friendly ship, and they are planning at least 3 of them, with the Icon being the first. So that is how the ship is already sold out so quick. Hey, Danielle, how are you, my buddy? Danielle is a fellow independent travel advisor. We work on the same team with Maureen Adams, so welcome. Thanks for coming in. I see Desiree dropped a super chat a super sticker way up top. Thank you, Desiree. Really, really appreciate that. You're welcome, Tristan. In fact, I was going to talk about the Icon a little bit, but yeah, that's how that happened. Kind of similar to Disney. You know, with Disney, they have the 3 levels, gold, bronze, silver, gold, something. I don't know. But there's 3 levels in Disney. And people at the top level can book the first day. People on the second level can book the second day. People on the third level can book the third day. And then on the 4th day, it opens up. So that's kind of how that happened. Hey, hello, Andy. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much, Desiree. That was absolutely awesome. Really do appreciate it. If you guys don't know, you can support the channel with super chats, super stickers, all of that good stuff. It is all active on the channel right now. And of course, Rebecca and I thank you. We definitely thank you very much for coming out tonight. If you're just joining us and you haven't seen some of the social posts that are going on, we did have to say goodbye to our dear Molly the Wonder Dog this morning. And Rebecca was actually encouraging me not to do this tonight, but I love talking to you guys, and this is a good distraction for me to talk to you guys. And otherwise, I'd be sitting around just thinking about Molly. So Molly had a great life, and here we are. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really thank you all for coming out tonight. But like I was saying, the Carnival Luminosa has actually retained some of her Italian stylings. Some of the things, what did it? 120 Murano glass light fixtures and chandeliers are still on board. There is a 2-deck high sliding sky dome over the ship's large pool deck, which I don't know how many, if any of the Carnival ships actually have an indoor pool. It's absolutely beautiful. And then apparently there's an iconic sculpture in the ship 10-deck high atrium. The ship has an atrium that's 10 decks high. That's amazing. But it's called Reclining Woman 2004, which was commissioned by the Costa Luminosa. Apparently it's still there. They were concerned that when Carnival came in, they were going to take the sculpture out, but apparently it's still there. So if you go on the Carnival Luminosa, which used to be the Costa Luminosa, it's going to look and feel different than any other Carnival ship out there. I think that's a good thing. You know, it's still, and they gave it all the fun ship stuff. You've got your red tiki bar, and it's got a lot of Carnival things, but they have retained some of that original Costa Italian styling. So well done, Carnival. I think that's kind of cool that you all did that. So that is awesome. You guys excited about the Carnival Luminosa? I mean, she's only going to be, so she's going to be in Australia. That's where she's heading right now. But then she'll be in Alaska. So if you want to check this ship out, the Carnival Luminosa, you can go on her for the Alaska season and go check her out. And I mean, that might be pretty cool. Tristan, have I heard when MSC will announce the next ship? They did it today. They actually did it today. She is, and in fact, I've got it right here. So if you don't know, MSC took delivery of the World Europa today. Now, she is the largest ship they have ever used, that they've ever built. She is 216,000 gross tons, so just a little bit smaller than the Oasis class ships. But she right now will be the largest LNG powered ship because Icon's not going to be out for a little while. She has 30 dining options, and what else? She's got so she can carry 6,800 guests. She's got a microbrewery, a gin bar, a healthy juice bar, coffee emporium, a tea house, the 30 dining options, and of course the Venom drop, which is the longest dry slide. It's 11 decks. You'll slide down 11 decks on the Venom drop. So it's kind of like the Abyss on Royal Caribbean. But then on the same day that they took delivery of that, they announced the MSC World America, which is going to be the first sister ship to the World Europa. So you can guess where she's going to be sailing, here in the United States. And she will be very, very similar, but there will be differences to that ship. She is scheduled to come into service in 2025, and there are 2 more already on order. So there's going to be 4 ships that we know of that are coming out. Right now, MSC is up to 20 ships. They could possibly be up to 27 ships by 2030. They probably have the most aggressive building program going on right now. So if you're interested at all in MSC, they are building like crazy. So you'll stay planted. Okay. But yeah, so that's what MSC is doing. So the World Europa looks insane. It looks like a Italianized version of the Oasis class. It has that big open back, like that boardwalk area that the Oasis class is famous for, with the Y split aft section on it. But it looks very Italian. It's very rounded, very pretty. I find it interesting that the Icon, they said, well, we did some research and people actually like to see the wake. And it's like, you had to do research for that? Those are usually some of the most popular cabins on any cruise ship. But if you look at the Oasis class ship, they really didn't have any except those Aqua Theater suites, or whatever they call them. Yeah, the Aqua Theater suites. Now they've done it where there's a whole bunch of suites back there. They are a premium. I'll tell you, the panoramic junior suite, I think is what they call the one. Actually, I've got it right here. That looks spectacular, as does the Sunset suite. So actually, since I'm talking about it, let me go ahead and bring it up here right now. So the Icon of the Seas revealed this week. And I'm sure you all have seen it on your social channels. But she has 8 neighborhoods, 28 cabin categories. It's insanity. 2,805 cabins, family focused, with over 80% of the cabins can hold 3+ guests. I mean, unapologetically, if you're looking for a romantic adult ship, this is not it. You are not going to be going on this ship. It looked like the dining, I saw some of the dining options showing up today. I was looking through them. It looks like pretty much every dining venue that's on any ship is on here. They basically just took them all. Although I don't know if I saw Wonderland. I'll have to go back and see if Wonderland is actually on there. But that's basically what it is. And you'll notice that they had the infinite balconies, that the Celebrity Edge series introduced. And what that basically does, it makes the cabin bigger, because the balcony is part of the cabin. So instead of stepping outside, you just open the big sliding window to look out. So it's not like you're standing out on a balcony, more like you're looking out a window. So you can lean out the window and you can look, but you may not necessarily get all that fresh air coming in like you typically would on a balcony. But it basically gives you a porch. It makes the cabin that much larger. So in the beginning, I really didn't like the infinite balcony idea, but the more I see of it, I really like the way Royal Caribbean executed it on this ship. It looks really, really nice. And in some of the suites, it's a double glass. Only one actually goes up and down, but it's a big double or triple glass going across. So it's really beautiful. And they have so much floor to ceiling windows in a lot of these things. Now, there's one set of balconies that were interesting, and I honestly can't remember which one they were, but they're inside the aquadome. So you go out on a balcony, but you're actually inside because there's the big glass of the dome, which is very interesting. I'm kind of surprised they did it that way, but they literally do have a balcony. So you do literally get to walk out of your cabin onto a balcony, but you're inside the dome. So you're not actually going outside. So you have to be careful of that if you're going to be booking a balcony and you want to actually have a balcony where you step outside. But yeah, they've really leaned into this infinite. They got 1, 2, 3. See, I see 1, 2, 3, at least 3 different categories here with the infinite going on. So yeah, and then they've got so this is interesting too. They introduced the interior plus. Now basically the interior and the interior plus are basically the same size, but the plus has a walk-in closet. I guess, they figured some people wanted a walk-in closet as well. So that's really the difference between the interior and the interior plus. She has a walk-in closet, which I thought was very, very interesting. And then the big thing they've done, they've taken all the kiddie pools and the splash pools and all the things that the young kids want to do, and they put it on the very back of the ship. They've called it Surfside. And then there's a bunch of Surfside cabins that are all right in that area. So the families with the younger kids, they're right there to go out and enjoy all the water stuff and all of that. But yeah, the top of that ship is insane. There is so much going on up there. And then you look at that view from the back, and you're like, that's a bit craziness going on there. They've got the suspended infinity pool and all of that. It's interesting. And I've seen a lot of adults who do not want to go on that ship, and that's not what the ship is targeting. The ship is strictly targeting family. I find it interesting that they've only got 3 planned. So, they may only make a few of these just for the families and then evolve something else that might lean in, like maybe something more like a Norwegian Prima that leans in both ways. That leans into the adults and it leans into the kids. So like I'm dying to get on the Prima because it looks like they really elevated the elegance and then they elevated all that fun. They've got that 3-story racetrack up on the top. They've got a lot of virtual reality stuff, and yet they've got beautiful dining venues. And then the inside of a ship really does look elegant. So it'll be interesting to see if Royal approaches that design, concept at all. Elevate the fun, elevate the elegance, so we can get the adults on there and the kids. This thing is this is a kid's. To me, it's almost like, think about the Magic Kingdom. The Magic Kingdom is definitely more of a younger child park. Well, Tron's coming in now and things like that. But traditionally, that has been appealing more to the younger children. And that's kind of like what the Icon is. I think the Icon definitely appeals to the families. If you have kids that are young, to teenager, to 21, I think this is going to be a super popular ship. It is priced quite a bit higher than the Oasis class, but you have to expect that. It's a brand new ship, and it's the first of its class, and they know people are going to want to go on it. So certainly if you're trying to be the first on board, you're going to pay a pretty premium to get on board that ship. I think it's going to be really cool. It's going to be interesting to see where the ship goes. It's going to be interesting to see how that ship does. And then I'm really interested to see what starts happening with MSC. Will MSC finally be able to start making some inroads over here with the ship that they're building, like especially when this Europa or the World America comes on over? Will they start making inroads? And they're going to have 5 ships here very shortly. So it's going to be interesting. It's a really interesting time to be a cruiser because there's so many options out there right now. It's absolutely unbelievable. And of course, again, if you guys got any questions or any concerns, feel free to drop them in the chat. Certainly, please give us a little bit of a like. And if you can share this with your friends and family, tell them to come on over. That would be awesome. Certainly, come on over and join the Facebook group. The links are down in the description below. And if you need travel plans in the future, drop us a line. Again, links below, or go to whereswaltertravel.com. And if you missed it before, holiday cruises, lots of holiday cruises still available. So if you want to get away for Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's, lots of them available. Whether you call us or you go directly through the cruise lines, man, There are lots and lots of cruises available, and I highly encourage you to get away for Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving cruises. So that's my thing. So anyway, moving on. So we've already talked about MSC, and we talked about some other things. You know, this was a episode I just did recently about cruise weddings, and this really surprised me when I did some of the research that cruise weddings are generally cheaper than land weddings. I thought for sure cruise weddings were going to be more expensive. Cruise wedding starts, the wedding package on a cruise ship starts between $1,500 to $3,000. That is the wedding itself. That's your officiate, the paperwork, you know, whatever needs to be done for the wedding. And that depends on the cruise line, obviously. And that has nothing to do with the cruise fare. That's just the wedding package. And they say on average, when people have a wedding on a cruise ship or a cruise destination, it runs about $20,000, whereas an average land-based wedding is about $30,000. And if you think about it, when you have a cruise wedding, a cruise is part of the package. So you're also getting a vacation. You're not just getting a day. You're getting a vacation. So, man, if you're thinking about a wedding, think about getting married on a cruise. I know Rebecca and I would like to have our vows renewed. We'd really like to get them renewed by Captain Kate if we can make that happen. That'll be in 3 more years. So who knows? Maybe we can get on a celebrity ship with Captain Kate and Bug and have them do our vow renewals. And vow renewals are much simpler because you don't have to worry about all the paperwork. But if you go check out that episode, hey, Maureen, how are you? Good to see you. But cruise wedding, you know, they can be a little bit complicated because, you know, depending on where the ship is registered, sometimes, you know, most of the time you've got to get your marriage license from there if you're going to get married on a ship, or you got to get it from the destination. But that's where cruise planners can come in and help out as well. So if you're thinking about that, go watch that episode and check that out and see what all is going on over there. But hey, hey, Maureen, thanks so much for joining in. Really, really, really appreciate it. We've been talking a little bit about, so the ultimate family townhouse on the icon, I forgot to mention that, 1,772 square feet. I mean, this house that I'm sitting in right now is 1,400 plus square feet. So it's bigger than our house. It is 3 stories. The top deck is the backyard. The middle deck is the entry level. And then the bottom deck is where the bedrooms are. It can hold 8 people. The kids' bedroom sleeps 4. They've got double bunk beds in there. And the bunk bed, this is interesting. The bunk beds all throughout Icon of the Seas have their own television. So there's 4 bunk beds, there's 4 TVs. There's 2 bunks, there's 2 TVs. I mean, they really thought that part out to make sure the kids weren't fighting over the TVs. And then they can each have their own video game, or they can each have their own, you know, whatever's going on. So, you know, that should be a lot of fun. But 1,772 square feet. Rebecca, did you happen to notice the price on that today? I saw you were kind of skimming through.
I couldn't get it to come up.
Oh, okay. She couldn't get it to come up because it was sold out. But I'll have to go look up the price on that and see what is running these days. The one I really like, I love the Sunset Corner Suite. It's just like it's got curved glass on it. Oh my God, it's just absolutely stunning. I think that was running in the 6,000 to 8,000 range, something like that. And then there was, what was it? The Sunset Junior Suite also had some really nice glass. Oh my God, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, what I noticed when I was looking at the training today with Royal Caribbean, the cabins really remind me of Celebrity. I mean, they really, especially in the suites, they really remind me of Celebrity. Like they leaned into that color palette, they leaned into the styling, so it doesn't look like Royal Caribbean to me. It looks more like, when you get down into the balconies and the interiors, it looks a little bit more like Royal Caribbean to me. But the suites, especially, it looks like they really leaned into the edge stylings and brought that over to Royal Caribbean, which is probably another reason why the prices are up a little bit too, because they're higher end, things like that. I did notice that they're adding everything to the phone now. So just like on Scarlet Lady, we can operate the entire cabin with a tablet. On the Royal Caribbean, you're going to be able to operate your entire cabin with the app on your phone, which is going to be nice, including unlocking the door, which is going to be very, very nice on there as well. So lots of new technology coming on that ship as well. Rebecca's saying you can do that now on some of the suites. Just the suites, right. On this ship, I believe it's going to be every cabin can do that. So that's going to be very, very nice. I haven't really looked into the restaurants yet. I would like to look into the restaurants and see what all is going on. I've actually been working on quotes the past couple of days, so I haven't even really looked at that particular ship yet. I definitely want to start leaning into that. Just a quick word, we do have a link down in the description for Sail Pack. I did a video on here about them. They keep your stuff dry and they keep your stuff organized out on a cruise. Really nice stuff. So if you're looking for some travel bags, keep your phones dry, things like that, check out the affiliate link down below. Really, really good stuff. This is kind of cool. I don't know how many of you actually know about Adventures by Disney. This is a whole other avenue of Disney, a whole nother travel arm of Disney. And they have just announced for the first time ever Adriatic Sea expeditions in 2024. So round trip sailings from Venice, Italy on board the Ponant ship Le Bougainville. I don't know, Le Bougainville? I'm going to say Le Bougainville, which was designed to access remote location. So they don't use the Disney ships because they can't go where they want them to go. And these are specially curated adventures for people. And so they rent the Ponant ships for pretty much all of these. This is the first time they're going to go on up to the Adriatic Sea. They're going to call on 7 ports in Croatia, Montenegro. They're going to sail it twice in 2024, June 25th and July 2nd. What else are they doing? So you'll have food, you have Croatian wine, you have regional architecture and culture. So if you've never looked into it, Adventure by Disney, it's basically a guided tour. You're like, I want to go to this place, but I don't know anything about it. Adventure by Disney takes you to curated locations all over the world. And again, they have nothing to do with Disney Cruise, have nothing to do with Disney Resorts, although I think some of them do tie into a Disney resort. Some of them tie into like Aulani in Hawaii. But for the most part, these are standalone vacations that are just simply a journey, an adventure for you and your family to go on. I've looked into some of these. They look quite nice. They're land expedition. So they're land tours, expeditions, and river cruises is what Rebecca is saying. And of course, this Ponant will be an ocean cruise.
Well, that's
So,
an expedition.
well, it's an expedition cruise, yeah. So these are very small things. What are they, like 20, like in the 20s, something like that? The amount of guests? 20s or more.
I can't remember about the expedition. I think under 200. I thought.
Yeah, under 200 for sure, because that expedition ship can probably hold 200 people on it. But they're very small. They're curated. They look really good. They look absolutely amazing. I've not done one yet, but they look absolutely amazing. There's another one called Smithsonian Journeys out there that looks really, really nice as well. But I thought this was interesting. So they're going to do their first Adriatic Sea expedition in 2024. I would love to start doing some of that stuff. I've been looking at Hurtigruten, which is a small expedition ship that does like Antarctica and all these, like the fjords and all these places with these really small expedition boats. I would really like to start leaning into some of that. I really would. I think that would be super cool. I mean, I do love my ocean cruises. I love everything about our ocean cruises, but it would be pretty cool to start getting to some of the small stuff. I was showing Rebecca, like they literally have the icebreaker ship that just crash into the glacier and sit there, and then you get off the ship and you go walk around on the glacier, and she doesn't want anything to do with that. I do. I would love to go do that. Rebecca will go take a Caribbean cruise while I go up and play with glaciers. But it just looks spectacular. I mean, the ship just crashes into the glacier, sits there, you hop off, you go walk around, you do some exploring and things like that. It just looks like it's so remote and spectacular up there. It looked absolutely amazing. So I don't know if you guys have any like bucket list desires and things like that to go do stuff like that. Hurtigruten is the name of the tour company. They look absolutely amazing. But how's everybody doing out there? Y'all doing good? Y'all having a good day? What cruise ship and line are you most looking forward to right now? I mean, I know we've been talking about the Icon. We've been talking about the World Europa. We talked about World America. Talked about the Carnival Luminosa. I'd be curious, is there any particular ships or cruise lines that you're interested in trying? I really want to get on an MSC ship. I have not been on an MSC ship yet. Would definitely like to get on a P&O as well. I think P&O would be a fabulous one as well. You've never done the adventures, but folks we work with dealt with the Adventures by Disney reservation. Gotcha. They look absolutely spectacular. They really do look spectacular. So Looks like so much fun. I really want to do one of those one of these days. I don't know about you, Rebecca, but I definitely want to do one of those one of these days.
Depends on what it is.
Huh?
Depends on what
Yeah, it depends on which one I pick. If I pick the glacier one, she's not going to go. But if I pick someplace warm, you might come along. Oh my goodness! Speaking of cold, how about Alaska? Want to go back to Alaska? I would love to go back to Alaska. This is kind of cool. Bear, if there's any man versus wild people in the house, Bear Grylls. It's going to join Cunard, the Queen Elizabeth, on her maiden 2023 Alaska voyage. He's going to be on board to share some of his experiences as the youngest climbers on Mount Everest. That's going to be a June 8th, 2023. I have not sailed Cunard yet, but I really, that looks like an absolutely spectacular cruise. What else is he going to be doing? It's right here. They have this thing called the Insights program on Cunard. So pretty much every cruise going to Alaska, they're going to have speakers on board. They're going to have enrichment activities on board, and he's going to be the first one. And I guess he's going to be talking about climbing Mount Everest. I don't know if he's actually going to do an excursion with people. That would be kind of cool if he did. We were on a celebrity ship with Jack Hanna. Jack Hanna came on the ship. I think he had about 100, 200 people with him, and they would go off and do these excursions at some of the ports. I think the first 2 ports we went to, they went off and did these excursions. And that was like one of the most bizarre things because we were in the buffet. This guy comes walking up with that hat, Jack Hanna's hat. And I'm like, wow, that's Jack Hanna. Oh, yeah, there goes Jack Hanna. It was actually kind of cool. We had no idea he was on the ship. And then it was like all these little ducklings just like following behind him in his wake, It was actually like, oh, there must be a group tour going on. So that was actually kind of fun. That's like, I think the only like real star we've seen on a ship. I can't remember if we met anybody else.
Saw Patrick Warburton on the plane home from a cruise.
That's right. We did see Putty. We saw Patrick Warburton, or the what is he? The flight attendant on Soarin' as well. But Patrick Warburton walked right by us, going on back to his seat. I was really kind of hoping he might sit next to us, but he didn't. He just kept on going. But yeah, I think Jack Hanna is like the most famous person that we've seen on a cruise ship so far. Have you guys seen anybody famous on a cruise ship? I'd be curious to know if you've seen anybody. Be really curious to know if you've seen anybody. But yeah, so that should be a lot of fun. We went to Alaska, 2008? 2008. So it's been a long time since we've been up there. Desperately want to get back up there. I took over 3,300 photographs while we were there. And I still remember, the experience to this day. So I desperately want to get back up there. Definitely recommend the land cruise tour. We did it through Princess. It was absolutely fabulous. It was so amazing. We were on the Sapphire Princess. First, we did the 7 days on land. We were at all the Princess lodges and everything, and it was so amazing. Princess took care of us, took care of the bags, took care of everything. And then we did 7 days on the ship, which was fabulous. Skagway, Juneau, Ketchikan, College Fjord, Glacier Bay, ended up in Vancouver, and Rebecca tacked on 3 more days in Vancouver. And if you go to Alaska and you're going to be in Juneau, highly recommend Harv and Marv. They are amazing whale watching, small boats, something like 6 to 18 people. That's it. And then if you go to Skagway, Temsco Helicopters, you want to take their helicopter tour to the dog sled, because that's a real dog sled camp up in the mountains with snow. It's not the ones with the wheels that are closer. There are dog sled camps that are really close to the port now in Skagway. Those aren't the ones with the snow. The one you really want to go to, you get on a helicopter, you go to the dog sled. Now, the clouds may be hanging low, so your flight might get canceled. If it does, they're going to give you the option, either give you your money back or take you to a glacier. Well, that's what we did. The clouds were low that day. So we ended up going to a glacier, which was just so freaking cool. And what was really cool about it, they flew us one way to get there, and then they flew us another way to get back. So even the flights were different and really, really cool. So highly recommend Temsco Helicopters in Skagway and Harv and Marv in Juneau. So when you worked at the grocery store in the Columbus Zoo was close by. Oh, yeah, that's right, because Jack is a supporter of the Columbus Zoo. We've been watching on Disney Plus, Secrets of the Zoo. That Columbus Zoo looks absolutely amazing. And then that nature wildlife preserve or whatever they call it nearby, Looks absolutely spectacular. That's right. You're from Ohio originally. Wow. How about that? Hey, Andrew. Andrew, you're back on land feeling refreshed after a wonderful week on Oasis of the Sea. Andrew, thank you so much for wearing our shirts on the ship. That was so cool, and sharing the pictures. If you get some time, drop some more pictures into the Facebook group. I'd love to see more of your cruise. It looks spectacular. We're going on our first Oasis class ship. What do we got, honey? 53 days? Is that what that is? 53 days until we get on the Symphony of the Seas. So excited. And everybody, just tell me, when is your next cruise? If you've got a cruise book, I want to know when your next cruise is. But Andrew, I hope you had a good time. I hope you had a good time on the Oasis. I'm sorry we couldn't meet up when you guys were here in Port Canaveral. Maybe next time we'll be able to meet up when you guys come down. That's kind of cool. I always forget the ship make a port stop. Some ships will make a port stop in Port Canaveral if you're coming down from New York and northern ports. Well, I actually forgot. I was thinking that you were going out of Port Canaveral. But yeah, maybe next time I'll be able to get over there. We're only about an hour, a little less than an hour from Port Canaveral. So it would have been nice to have gotten over there. I just couldn't last week. It was just kind of crazy. But I'm glad you had a good time. That is so awesome. The Oasis class is the most successful class for Royal Caribbean. And that's why they're leaning into this Icon class right now. They're going to see if that can be even more profitable, more successful than the Oasis class. And keep in mind, there's one more coming out. The Utopia of the Seas is still coming out. So we've got Icon coming out, but we've also got Utopia coming out. And I can't remember if Utopia is a 2023 or 2024. So it's possible it might. Yeah, so both of those ships may be dropping in 2024. So, oh, you got to see the Freedom of the Seas. That was actually our first Royal Caribbean ship, Freedom of the Seas. And in fact, we saw her on our very first cruise. We were on the Caribbean Princess, and we looked at her and we said, who's ever going to get on a ship that big? Because it was the biggest ship in the world at that time. And it's like 4,000 people or whatever it is. And now the Oasis class, is so much bigger. And now we're going on the Oasis class. So funny. Danielle, you got 67 days. Awesome. So you'll be right behind us. That's right. You're doing New Year's Eve. Hey, Rona, how are you? How many times? We have only gone to Alaska once. It's a shame. We should be going there more often. I think you should go to Alaska like at least every 5 years because it's just so spectacular up there. And, if you do the round trip from Seattle, that is a nice way to do it. But if you can do it in Alaska, if you can do a round trip in Alaska or do Alaska like Fairbanks or Whittier down to Vancouver and back, you get a little bit deeper into Alaska doing that, which is nice. But I would like to go back to Alaska. And now we found out, now that I'm an independent travel advisor, I've learned more about American Cruise Lines, which I thought was just a Mississippi River cruise line. And I was wrong, totally wrong. And the ships are gorgeous. The ships are like, when you see Viking River cruises, that's what their ship. The interiors are lovely like that. But they have all these Alaska itineraries that are amazing. And of course, they can go where the big ships can't because you're talking 100 to 180 people on these small ships. So they can go into places, they can even go up rivers that, of course, the big cruise ships can't do. So now I'm looking at, I would love to go back with Princess again because I love Princess in Alaska. But now I'm thinking I would really like to go to Alaska and check out some of these American Cruise Line itineraries. They look amazing. So, yeah, Andrew, the Freedom was a dwarf. What's interesting, if you look at Loyal to Royal on Twitter, they actually have an aerial comparison of all the ships. The Oasis looks almost twice as wide as every other ship. And in fact, the Quantum class looks narrower than the Freedom class, at least on the top decks. So it's very interesting. I always thought the Quantum class and the Oasis class were very similar in width, but they're not. So the Oasis is that's like its own little beast in terms of how wide it is. And that's one of the reasons why it looks so big, because it is so wide. It's over 200 feet wide. So, hey, Christy, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining in. Really appreciate it. I hope everything's going well in Texas. Texas right now. Oh, man. We were in Texas for almost a year, but Now we're over here. We did enjoy our time. We were just north of Houston, up in Conroe area, which was very, very nice. So, okay, more cruise news while I wait for your questions and comments. One of my favorite ports out there, St. Martin, getting ready for a record season, over 1 million guests, 400 cruise ships coming in the call. That's a lot. So let's see. The winter season starts around the end of October and runs through the end of April. They're expecting to welcome more than 400 cruise ships. Starting in November, 50 calls will be made to the island. Just in November, 50 calls. So that's going to be 400 cruise calls made. And 2 ultra luxury ships are now going to be making St. Martin their home port, the Seabourn Ovation and the Ritz-Carlton Evrima. I don't know how you say it. Ritz-Carlton, if you want to write in, let me know. But the Seabourn Ovation and the Ritz-Carlton Evrima will be sailing out of St. Martin. Those should be very interesting cruises. I mean, one, they're going to be ultra luxury, so not cheap, but they should be able to do some very interesting itineraries starting that deep in the Caribbean. So it should make for some very interesting cruises, and you get the added excitement of flying in and out of that airport. So, I mean, if you've ever seen the videos of that airport, you know what I'm talking about. It looks like the planes are going right into the water when they land, and then when they take off right over that beach. So it looks absolutely insane. So Oasis is doing one last loop from Bayonne and then sails out of Miami next Tuesday. Gotcha. That's a good question. I don't think so. No. It'll probably do a sailing out of Bayonne. It'll probably do a one-way sailing. So it'll probably go to the Bahamas, do its thing. It might be like a 4-day sail or something like that, but they would never sail it empty. That would be too much money. So it's going to be a one-way. It's going to be considered a repositioning cruise. Just like when a ship goes transatlantic, that's a repositioning cruise. So New York to Miami is a repositioning cruise. So she's probably maybe she'll hit like Newport, Virginia on the way down, then she'll go over to the Bahamas, maybe hit the Keys, and then come up to Miami. So yeah, that'll be a repositioning cruise. So, Christy, we should see the new terminal. Oh, I know. Royal Caribbean, not only are they building a new terminal, but it is going to be completely powered by 30,000 solar panels. I mean, that's just unbelievable. They are going to draw no power from the local grid. In fact, they're going to feed power back to the power grid. So way to go, Royal Caribbean. I think that is spectacular. Spectacular. You're stopping in St. Martin in January. I love St. Martin. If you don't know about it, that Yoda guy is there. That's one of my favorite shops. Gentleman's name is Nick Maley. He used to work at ILM during the original run of Star Wars, and he helped make the original Yoda. And he has a Yoda in his shop, along with other Star Wars, Superman, and other movie memorabilia. And then if he's there, he'll sign stuff. I actually have 2 prints that I bought at his shop. It was called That Yoda Guy in St. Martin. I highly recommend it, especially if anybody is a movie buff, especially if they're a Star Wars fan. I want to say it's about 3 blocks back and then just turn right. And you'll walk right into it. Or if you ask any shop owner about Yoda, they'll know where he is right down the street. It's a fabulous, fabulous shop. I enjoy it. You're welcome, Lori. I hope you have a good time. Hey, Andy, which cruise line do we think has the best home private island? Yeah, so Rebecca's saying we'll get back to you after we go to Coco Cay, because we haven't been to Coco Cay since they built Coco Cay. Last time we were there, it was a tender island. They had no pier. They had nothing really built up. It was just that. But right now, of the ones we've been to, my favorite one is actually Bimini, the Virgin Voyages Bimini, which actually really isn't Virgin Voyages. It's World Resorts. All the cruise ships use the same one when Virgin isn't there. But I think that is a stunning beach. And what I really liked about it is that, and there's not much to it, okay? There's a couple of pools. There's the beach. And that's it. It's just a relaxation place. It's not like there's not even a zip line or anything like that. I think you can go to zip lines and stuff like that. But right in the Bimini area, what I liked about it was the sand was so shallow. We were a good 150 yards out, and I could still touch the bottom. And it was just really nice, clean sand. I really enjoyed that a lot. Beyond that, I mean, is there an island that you like particularly, like so far? Because at Coco Cay, we're going to do the Coco Beach Club because of Steph. Steph said, in her vlog, she talked about the Coco Beach Club because they used to do the water park all the time. Then she went to the Coco Beach Club, and that looked really good. But do you have a favorite right now? Not really? Okay. She's saying not really right now. But to me, Bimini was I really did enjoy that. I like Labadee, except, that little gauntlet you have to run with all the local artists. That makes me feel uncomfortable sometimes. I don't know if it's changed.
Go on the tram.
Yeah, I mean, you can go on the tram, and that's better. But if you walk that space, I don't know if they made it any different since the pandemic, but that always made me feel a little uncomfortable. But I always thought Labadee was actually kind of nice as well. We did a bungalow, whatever they call that thing, a cabana, a beachside cabana last time we were there. So that was kind of nice. But yeah, I would say Bimini right now. Really enjoy. I didn't like the food. I thought the food was but the bartender was great, and the actual ambiance, the feel of it, absolutely lovely. Don't waste your money on the cabanas because they're not really worth it. Castaway Cay actually is quite nice. We didn't like the adult beach section of it, which was like all the way by itself on the end, and it really wasn't like there was really nothing there. It was just a beach, and really no shade at all. The rest of the island was great. I thought the whole rest of the island was so much fun. It was so cute. But we decided to go straight on back. Took the tram all the way on back to the adult area. And the other thing was, all the food and restrooms were down at this one end, but the adult beach just kept on going. And so you were going further and further away from the food, the restrooms, all the services. And it was very rare for somebody to actually come over and take a drink order or something because it was such a long beach. So that section was not set up well at all. But the rest of it, I think, is really nice. And I love the design elements that they've released on the new one that they're going to be building. I think that's going to be absolutely stunning, trying to keep it a little bit more natural looking than what they did with Castaway Cay. So I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful. But yes, that is a lovely, lovely island for sure. And the other one that looks interesting too is the MSC Island, Ocean Cay, I think it's called. But that looks interesting, and I think it's one of those islands that give it about 10 years because all the landscaping is so new. But in about 10 years, all that landscaping comes up. It should be really lovely at the MSC Island. And of course, they have that lighthouse where they do the whole light show and things like that. So it'd be kind of interesting. What do you got? Adult area of Coco Cay is opening with the Icon arrival. Oh, right. That's right. So Coco Cay is building a whole new adults only area. And Rebecca is saying that they are timing that to open when the Icon of the Seas shows up. So right now, is there even an adult only area? No. So there's no adult only area on Coco Cay right now. But there will be, which is kind of ironic because I just said, if you were with me earlier in the show, Icon of the Seas is unapologetically family. So they're going to have an adult-only area ready when the Icon shows up. And that might be for the other ship because there's usually two ships there. And maybe that second ship, they're really going to lean in, and say, I want to get away from all these kids. Who knows? So, Christy, will Disney have two private islands? They will have two. They will have Castaway Cay, Lighthouse Cay, called Lighthouse Cay. And that is the one that if you saw the videos during D23, they showed Josh D'Amaro standing on an abandoned island, what looked like an abandoned island, which was supposed to be Joe Rohde's last design. Famous Imagineer Joe Rohde, who designed Animal Kingdom. That was his baby. He was supposed to be designing that island, but then when COVID came in and it put a whole stop to everything, he retired. Let's just say retired in quotes. He retired. So Joe is no longer involved with that, but that will be a second island for Disney. And they're trying to make it look more natural. So think more like Aulani, the Hawaiian resort, less commercial, more looking like it fits in with the island. And I don't know if that's a 2024 thing as well. The Treasure is launching in 2024, so maybe they'll try to time that with that, because then they're going to have 5 ships at that time. No, they'll have 6 ships at that time. So I would not be surprised if that island is targeting the release of the treasure to be open at that time, because then they will have multiple ships coming in and out in the area. So I would not be surprised if 2024 is kind of the target. I don't think they've said much about it except for those drawings. So if you look up Lighthouse Key, what they're calling it, it's either Lighthouse Key or Lighthouse Point. It might be Lighthouse Point, but you'll see the drawings that they showed in D23. It looks absolutely stunning, Christy. So yeah, they will have 2 islands now, and that will be nice. And of course, Carnival broke ground in Bermuda, Bahamas. They broke ground in Bahamas. They're basically going to be building, from what we heard of it, it sounds like it's going to be a Coco Key, similar type of deal, where there's probably going to be like a water park kind of a thing, and then adult area and whatnot. So Carnival is building a new island, or not an island, but they're building a resort in the Bahamas, sort of that Coco Cay thing. And Nassau itself is actually redoing their entire port area. If you've been there of late, the whole thing's under construction. But they're building new terminals. They're going to build a water park right on one of the piers. All new restaurants, shopping, all kinds of stuff going on in Nassau as well. So right now, Nassau is one of those stops where we stay on the ship. But as these things start to roll out, like if you saw the Wonder of the Seas vlog series from Stephanie, she went to the Margaritaville just off the pier, and she said it was fabulous. Like what we saw of it, it looked fabulous. It was, I want to say, $50 or $75 for the day. But it was not just a restaurant. It had a whole, I don't want to say, I think it was like a water park. Kind of like a water park. And that looked really nice. The only thing she said was it was kind of sketchy walking back, to make sure you're not walking back by yourself. She was there with Ben and David.
She walked back in the dark, too.
Yeah, they walked back in the dark, but she was there with Ben and David. And she said, if I didn't have Ben and David with me, I might have felt a little bit more nervous walking through. But so that is one thing. But Nassau is trying to, build up and make that port a little better. I think they've realized that a lot of people don't get off the ships there because there's really Atlantis is the big thing. And once you've done that once or twice, not really going to go back there again. So that is going to be very interesting. But yes, they will have 2 private islands for Disney. And that should be really, really nice, especially, when you've got 6 ships. Obviously they can send one down to Australia. That gives them more options once they have more ships. But when you've got, say, 2 or 3 ships trying to do the Caribbean at the same time, they can't all hit there at the same time. It's going to be interesting when Icon comes in, because Icon, every single itinerary is going to hit Coco Cay. So they can hold 2 ships right now, sometimes 3. If there's a smaller ship, sometimes they can put 3 ships in there. But it's going to be interesting that if you have this ship coming in with 6,000 people on every single itinerary, is somebody going to be left out? Or are they just going to send a ship, somewhere else and just get it away? Maybe send one of their big Oasis classes down to Australia or something like that. But every single itinerary for Icon is scheduled to hit Coco Cay, which is kind of funny for me because the ship itself is kind of Coco Cay. If you look at the top of it, they have the largest pools. They have 7 pools. They have all the water slides and everything. So it's like, what does Coco Cay have that they don't have other than sandy beaches? So that truly could be a ship that did cruises to nowhere if that was allowed. I could totally see that just going out for 7 days and just coming back, and people never get off the ship. Royal Caribbean would love that. They would love that so much. They get to keep all the money. But yeah, that should be really, really, really nice. All right, what else have I got here? Wow, have I gone through all of my news? I believe I've gone through all of my news. How about that? Yeah, I've gone through all of my news. Look at that. That's the first time I've done that. I went through all my news. So what's happening, people? What else are we talking about? What else are we talking about tonight? And and I apologize if I sound a little bit tired. If you didn't hear it before, we did have to say goodbye to our lovely Molly the Wonder Dog this morning. So it's been a bit of a day here, and I appreciate you all tuning in and joining in with us. I really wanted to do this because for me, it's a bit of a distraction rather than just thinking about that. So I really appreciate you all tuning in. And I typically would have a few more news items with me, but I didn't pull them up. So what are you all doing? Where are we all going? What is that? You're going to Epcot on Sunday. Ooh, any must-tries for the food and wine? Well, first of all, if you don't know about it, that's a great question, by the way. If you don't know about it, there is an app called WDW F&W or Food and Wine. Hold on, I'm going to take a quick peek at it right now. WDW Food and Wine, and the maker is called Small World Code. And what's really cool about it is that it has the entire menu. I'm going to kind of hold that up there, but it has the entire menu and all the prices, and you can favorite items. You can rate them as you taste them. So it's absolutely fabulous. Certainly the mac and cheese, the fry flight is really good if 2 or 3 of you are going to eat it. Okay, Rebecca didn't really want it, and I ordered it anyway, and it was way too many French fries, but it was really, really good. I enjoyed that. So I'm actually looking at the app right now to see. But you know, the cowboy mac and cheese, I do like that. At Flavors from Fire, there's the smoked corned beef. At Earth Eats, the Impossible Slider and the Impossible Meatball, those are both really good. Rebecca likes the at the noodle place, Noodle Exchange. She likes the Thai shrimp and coconut curry rice noodles. Really, really good. So about the only thing I say to avoid is when you go to Paris, don't get that brie beignet. Tastes really weird. There's something wrong about that. I don't know what they did with that, but there's just something wrong about that. The peanut butter and jelly wings, really good. I really enjoyed those. Sticky as all get out, but I really, really enjoyed them. And yeah, so a lot of good stuff. Oh, and we've heard really good things about the mushroom gnocchi in Italy. I typically don't get anything in Italy because, you know, they have those really good restaurants over there. But yeah, that was really good too. Oh, the crab cake slider. Yeah, the Chesapeake crab slider and hopped and barley. Really, really good. But get that app. It's called WDW Food and Wine. You can kind of see the little icon there. It's that orange and white icon there. So WDW Food and Wine. It works on Android and iOS. I knew I'd get that sooner or later. But yeah, Food and Wine, have a great time. We just went over there last Thursday. Just walked around, had an absolute blast. In fact, we were there also on Saturday with Danielle. We did a live stream from there where we were getting dive bombed by birds left and right. It was hysterical. So yeah, but that'll be good. Holiday merch? What holiday merch? You talking about Epcot or are you talking about here? I mean, I have holiday merch. If you go down into the description, you will see my really fun Christmas shirt, which is absolutely awesome. Lori, you're welcome. Do download it. It's free. Oh, and what's really cool about that app too, Lori, it updates for all the festivals. So when Food and Wine is over and then the festival holiday starts, you go into like the little 3 dots on the left, and then you select that festival, and it'll have that. And then it has the Festival of the Arts, it has the Garden Festival, it has all of the festivals in there, and it's free. I don't know how we make any money, but so you're talking about my merch. Yeah, so we do have Christmas merch in the store now. So if you go down to the description, you'll see a link to our TeePublic shirt store, which is where this little guy came from, where we're going. We don't need roads. I love this shirt. This is one of my own designs right here. But I have multiple Christmas designs in there, including a fun play on Elf. So the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud as we leave the pier, which I thought was a lot of fun. It's got a cute little red ship with a green tree. So that's adorable. But then I've got some other really fun designs. One of the cool things about the merch store is not just me. It's a bunch of artists from all over the store, and I'm an affiliate of all of them, so I get to share all of their merchandise, so it's not just mine. So there's some really fun stuff in there as well, including a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer meets the Beatles walking across Abbey Road. Kind of cute. But yeah, so there's holiday merch in there. So if you're going on a holiday cruise or you're going on a vacation or something this Christmas season, there's some really fun holiday shirts in there, because who doesn't like to wear fun holiday t-shirts while you're out there? Plus they come in hoodies and long sleeve tees and stickers and all kinds of things. In fact, I just got my first stickers for the car, got my logo, and I actually got this design for the car, which is going to be kind of fun. So yeah, be sure to go in there and check some of that stuff out. They're going to be on sale again tomorrow. I think tomorrow they go back on sale too. They're going to be $14 a shirt. And the two sides, I have some of my designs where it's a small logo on the front and then the big design is on the back. Some people asked me if I could put the design on the back. Easy peasy, did that. So you'll see like 3 options for some of these shirts. There's like a dark shirt, light shirt, and then a two-sided shirt. So definitely. And then if there's any designs that you'd like to see, just let me know. I'd be happy to put some new designs up there in the store and whatnot. It's been really exciting for me. I've been seeing my shirts out in the wild. Andrew, who was just on here, he was wearing my shirt on the Oasis of the Seas. Our friend Tammy has been wearing it. I can't remember what ship she was on, but she was wearing my logo on one of the ships. So it's just really fun to see those shirts out in the wild. I will finally be able to wear mine on the Symphony of Seas when we get on there. Y'all are wearing them on ship before I did. Good question. Is anybody taking a Halloween, Thanksgiving, or Christmas cruise? Of course, the Halloween cruises are basically, this is going to be it. This will be the final week for that. And Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady is actually leaving on October 30th, with Halloween being the next day. And Sir Richard Branson will be on that ship, so that should be pretty cool. But has anybody taken a Halloween, or are you thinking about things? I'm telling you, people, go away for Thanksgiving. Get rid of the drama. Oh, my God, so much drama. I don't know of any Thanksgiving that I ever did at our house, at a family's house, at a friend's house that did not have drama. And the drama was always about the stupid bird. It's always the turkey. The turkey's not cooked. It's not cooking fast enough. Oh my God, we left this thing in the freezer. La, 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 la. There's always all this drama around Thanksgiving. So just go get on a ship. Just let somebody else deal with the cooking. Go sit and watch the football game. Go sit by the pool. Go sit on the beach. Think about anything but the stupid turkey. And we've done that so many times, and we really, really enjoy going out on Thanksgiving cruises. It is so much fun. I mean, seriously, you have nothing to worry about. You have nothing to think about. In Christmas, I really want to go out on Christmas because I think it'd be really fun on Christmas morning to come out in my pajamas and go down to the buffet and get some breakfast. Or if you were on a Disney ship, I mean, sitting out there in the lobby as Christmas Eve turns into Christmas Day at midnight. I know that the chandeliers do like some sort of a thing out there. So I wonder if Disney does anything like literally right at midnight on the ships. That would be kind of cool for me to see. But if I was on a ship, I would certainly be staying up all night on Christmas Eve. That would just be so magical. We were supposed to do a Christmas and New Year's out of Galveston back in 2020, but of course that all got canceled. We were going to be on Royal Caribbean Jewel of the Seas. In fact, we were supposed to be on Jewel of the Seas twice, and we had to cancel both times. One, it was that cruise, and the other one, we were actually supposed to go to the Norwegian fjords this past August, but we had to cancel that due to some things going on over here. So I would like to get on on the Jewel of the Seas. She looks like a lovely ship. She's one of the smaller ships, so that would be lovely. Being on a Christmas ship and Thanksgiving is nice. Yeah, and it's really nice because depending on the ship, they might have all those Christmas decorations coming up. I remember Freedom of the Seas is the ship we were on, and she did have the big Christmas tree came up in the promenade, so that was really nice. So it's kind of like going on a Christmas cruise, but without the cost of a Christmas cruise. Christmas cruises are usually some of the highest, but I was really surprised to see that Disney is having some 35% off for the very merry time Christmas. And since we're talking about it, just a reminder, these they're still available. There's all kinds of inventory still available. And mainly that's because there's so many ships. It's not that people aren't traveling for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. It's just a lot of ships in Florida. I think I said it before, Celebrity, it's going to have pretty much their entire fleet sitting in Florida for the winter season. So that's why there's still so much available. And there's actually a lot still at really good prices. So you all should go away for the Christmas holidays. You absolutely should go away for the Christmas holidays, for the Thanksgiving holidays, for New Year's. I mean, I would love to do a New Year's. I know Danielle, who was watching earlier, is going on a New Year's Eve cruise. I think that would be fabulous to go on a New Year's Eve cruise. I mean, where else better to celebrate New Year's Eve? You don't have to worry about driving home. You don't have to worry about anything. You're just on a ship. You're having a great time. And what I would really love to do one day would be to do something like, those cruises that sit outside Singapore, or some of those places where they have the massive fireworks show and the cruise ship just sits just outside the bay. You can watch the whole thing. That would be spectacular. So Your only issue with a Christmas cruise, most shops and the ports are closed. Well, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, so if you showed up on Christmas Day, I mean, Christmas Day would be a good day to do a sea day or a private island, certainly. But if you're coming into port, there's probably going to be some that are going to be open because they know you're coming in, but then others are going to be like, hey, it's Christmas Day, we're not opening up. So yeah, I could see that for sure. And of course, if you know that, just stay on the ship that day. Make that your Christmas present. Stay on the ship and enjoy the ship that day. But I would love to run around with my pajamas and just have a good time, you know, on Christmas Day. That would be so fun. You did a New Year's cruise about 5 years ago. That's awesome. And like I said, Danielle's going on one. I remember, what was it? The one who sang Total Eclipse of the Heart was on an Eclipse cruise recently. I mean, it'd be fun to have somebody like her on the ship singing. Your kids are worried that Santa couldn't find them. Well, this is great because what you would tell them is, well, you know, Santa dropped off your presents at the house, so you'll get another Christmas when you get home. That's all. You bring a few presents onto the ship, and then you say, yeah, Santa left the presents at the house, and we'll go get them when we get home. Works for me. You get 2 Christmases that way, right? I think that would be a lot of fun. Christy, you guys should look at booking the ultimate family townhouse for Christmas one year. Why not? It's probably only about $65,000 for the week, something like that. Wouldn't surprise me. I don't know. But that would be spectacular. Oh, my gosh. I want to go on the Icon of the Seas, and I want to meet the people who are staying in the ultimate family townhome so I can go in and see it, because I really want to see it badly. I want to go down that slide. Whoever, if somebody books that, please let me know. I'm going to go on that same cruise. I want to go down that slide. That would be so much fun. Desiree, being on a ship Thanksgiving night. Yeah, it is fun to do it every year. It's like I said, you know, it's just so nice. No drama, no anything. You're being waited on hand and foot. So I think it makes the cruise even better. You know, cruises are great anyway because you're being waited on hand and foot. But when you go on a holiday, I think to me it just makes it feel that much better. You know, because, you know, when you go to a hotel or a resort, you know, most people they just want to get home at the end of the day. They want to do this, that, or the other. And of course, the cruise can't really go home. They're on the ship with you. So they know they're committed into the holiday with you. And I think it's just that much more. I think the crews do an absolutely fabulous job making you feel like Christmas or making it feel like Thanksgiving, even when you are at sea. There's always, you know, the hats and the beard showing up and all the fun little shirts and the decor. So I think the crew even gets a little giddy during the holidays too, just having fun with all of us. So it really is spectacular. It really is a lot of fun. I mean, I can't say enough about going on a cruise, but then you add the holidays in and it gets even better. So that's a lot of fun. I definitely want to encourage you guys to join our Facebook group again. I know I've talked about that before, but Andrew's been posting in there. Tammy's been posting in there. Other folks have been posting in there. I love seeing your cruises. Christy is one of our moderators in there as well. She does a fabulous job making sure that we're welcoming people and all of that. And one of our members is on the Wonder of the Seas right now in the Mediterranean. And not only is he doing a med cruise, he's going to ride that ship all the way back to Florida. He's going to be on it for a little over 2 weeks. So he's probably one of those few people that's actually going to have the opportunity to do everything on the Wonder of the Seas during that cruise. So that could be a lot of fun. Moving 3 elf on a shelf, that could be fun. And you know what? The room attendants would love that. Let me tell you, they would totally get into that. You can make little Santa ducks. You could hide them around the ship. Why not? See if the kids can find the Santa ducks. You know, that would be a lot of fun. But yeah, elf on a shelf on a ship. Oh man, the room stewards would totally, they'd probably get like other room stewards coming in to help out and come up with ideas of where to put it. That would be a challenge, actually, in a cabin. You know, where do you move them? That would be a lot of fun. Maybe they move them out into the hallway, or maybe, you know, I don't know. That would be a lot of fun. If you do it, you're going to have to post it so we can all see like where the elf keeps moving around and give ideas to other people. That would be fabulous. I love that. Oh, and actually you reminded me something about the families. One of the things that Royal Caribbean did with the Icon of the Seas, this is interesting. You know, connecting cabins, they have a door between the cabin. Well, what they did on Icon, they made the foyer connecting. So there's a door that you open to get into the foyer, and then there's a door that goes into each of the 2 cabins. So instead of a door being in the wall somewhere and then creating a dead space, they actually created a foyer space, and that's where the connection is. So you don't have to open the door to go out into the hallway to get into the other cabin. You can just leave the two doors open and you can just go back and forth between the two cabins. That's a very clever idea, and I think other cruise lines should take a look at that. I've seen that like with some suites where like there's some suites in the corner, so you open one door and then you step in and then you go into your suite, but I've not seen it where it's thought of as a connecting cabin. So that's a very interesting idea, and it kills that dead space in the wall that typically happens between two cabins. So I think that's a really brilliant idea by Royal Caribbean to do that. I just learned that today as I was watching the accommodations training that we had today. Very clever, you know, so you don't have to go out in the hallway, but you don't have that dead space. So it's just the entry door. You just go back and forth through the entry door. Really brilliant idea, Royal Caribbean. I'd love to see that maybe catch on some of the other cruise lines. That would be cool. That'd be very cool. And of course, like I said, everything, you'll be able to run your entire cabin on the app. That'll be every cabin. Like Rebecca said, right now, on some of the ship, the suites, you can run your entire cabin through the app. But on Icon, every single cabin will run through the app. And they have mood lighting on their setting, but I'm willing to bet it's not the same mood lighting that we had on the Virgin Voyages ship. I doubt they're going to have Get It On in their mood lighting. That was my favorite one. It was all pink lights. And, you know, they have a lot of fun on Virgin. There's a lot of cheeky, funny stuff, and their mood lighting that they set up, they literally have one setting called Get It On, and when you hit it, kind of goes to all this pink lighting and stuff. It's hysterical. And what's really neat too, their mood lighting, when you hit it, it also shuts the blind, it sets the lighting, it does everything. It's really, really funny. So I'll be really interested to see what mood lighting is considered on Royal Caribbean. I'm sure it's not going to be the same as Virgin Voyages. And if you have not been on Virgin Voyages yet, I cannot recommend them enough. They are totally different kind of a cruise line. But just going to get something to eat and not even worrying about, oh, do I have to pay for this? Do I not have to pay for this? That was so liberating. And the food was easily, you know, $35, $45 to $125 per person every meal that we had. It was that good. It was really, really good. So it's included, and it's really, really good. You look at the pricing, you're like, wow, this is a little bit more expensive. But then if you factor in, well, how much would I have to pay for the Wi-Fi, for the gratuities, for the food, for the soft drinks? It gets closer. It's still going to be a little bit higher on Virgin Voyages most of the time, but I think it's worth that little bit of extra money. So, so if you've not been on Virgin Voyages, you definitely want to check them out one of these days for sure. So I've been talking well over an hour. And just so you know, what we're going to do next week, Monday is actually Halloween, so we won't be here Monday, but we'll be here on Tuesday. We're probably going to start the show at 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern time. I've noticed that a lot of my fellow bloggers actually start their shows a little bit later, so those of you on the West Coast can join in easier. Like I noticed Tony over at Lalita Loca, super nice guy. We chat quite often, super nice guy. He starts at 9 o'clock. So we're probably going to push the start time back from 7 o'clock to either 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. And next week we'll be on Tuesday because Monday is Halloween. And then, of course, Saturday mornings we're usually live at 10:30 in the morning. Well, this is very interesting. I'm glad you brought that up, Robin. The only good thing with Virgin from reviews is the food is awesome, but the entertainment is kind of lacking. I don't know where the entertainment is lacking, because from what we saw, it was fantastic. Do not like Never Sleep Alone. I think she's trying too hard to be sexy and cutting edge and provocative. The Untitled Dance Party thing was kind of weird, but it's experimental dance, so it should be weird. Dual Reality was actually quite good. It was the gymnastics show. It was quite good. But where they really shine is the small venues. So On the Rocks had a blues guitarist and a trio that was unbelievable. Had a singer, unbelievable. The house band was amazing. And then what else did they have going on? Oh, the diva was hysterical. The drag show, absolutely hysterical. So, and then of course we were doing private karaoke, hysterical, absolutely hysterical. So we had a good time on. Yeah, some of the shows were a little bit weird. but the entertainment that we did go see was really, really good. So they don't have the big shows. They don't have the normal shows, that's for sure. And of course, Scarlet Night was absolutely crazy, but that's only one night. But that is a full ship party. And then you go up to the upper deck, and it is a crazy ass party up there. And I highly recommend earplugs for that one. But if you're going on that ship expecting to see the same entertainment that you get on every other cruise ship, yeah, you will be disappointed because it's not the same, except for those venues. Those smaller venues have some really good entertainment. And that's where I think the ship really shines. The shows in the Red Room, like I said, Dual Reality was really good. Untitled Party Dance thing. I had a big crowd for sure, but it was experimental dance. It was kind of weird. It wasn't my cup of tea. And I think the sexologist or whatever she calls herself, I think she just tries too hard to be provocative. It wasn't for me, but that's okay. We went off and we were watching the blues player on the rock. So that was really, really good. So, I still say go give it a chance. It is a different kind of ship. It is a mega yacht. It's actually a quiet ship. Hard to believe, right? Because you always see Scarlet Night, but it's actually a rather quiet ship during the day. And even at night, the whole back half of the ship is completely quiet. So if you want a quiet experience, go sit out on the dock at night and just watch the wake or look up at the stars. Absolutely stunning. Or sit in the dock house. Really, really nice. So certainly give it a chance. I know a lot of people are turned off by the entertainment because it is different. It's weird. But I would say definitely give it a chance. Go see for yourself whether you want to go on it or not. I think that's really the only way to go. I thought we were going to be a one and done. Now I want to go on an 8-night cruise. I really do. So Christmas trees go up now. Go up November 1st. Yes, absolutely. I always put my Christmas tree up November 1st because, Halloween's done. So let's get the Christmas tree up because I want it up as long as possible. That is too funny. Yes, you are thinking just like me. Absolutely. But I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. We've been going for about an hour and 15 minutes. But like I said, next Tuesday, we're probably going to start at 8 o'clock Eastern time, maybe more like 8:30, 9 o'clock, to allow more of you from the West Coast to go ahead and join on in. I noticed that the crowd does get bigger the closer we get to 8 o'clock. So we'll be starting a little bit later moving forward for sure. I thank you guys all for coming out tonight. I especially thank everybody for all your kind comments about Molly the Wonder Dog. She was an absolutely amazing dog, my best friend for the past 15 years, and I will definitely miss her dearly. But I thank you all for coming out tonight. So join us next Tuesday night, November 1st, and maybe I'll have the Christmas tree behind me. And Saturday morning at 10:30 over on the TikTok channel. And of course, any questions, concerns that you have about cruising, if you'd like to reach out to us for your next cruise, I thank everybody who's been reaching out. We're putting together some quotes right now, getting our feet wet in this whole thing. And thank you to Maureen and to Danielle. Maureen is our coach. Danielle is a fellow independent travel advisor who has been a huge help for us. Both of y'all have been a huge help for us. I hope I've been able to give something back to you guys. But I thank you so much for joining along with Where's Walter, especially as we make this transition over to the travel agency. And thank you so much for all your kind wishes. So wherever you are in this great big world tonight, I hope you have an amazing evening. And I hope to see you guys next Tuesday night or Saturday morning over on the TikTok channel. Y'all have an amazing evening. Thank you again for tuning in. And thank you for joining with us. Good night.